Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, if you've ever tried to learn a second language, you absolutely know the struggle.
Oh, yeah.
That feeling. It's like mental quicksand when you just want to say something, but your brain, it forces you through this really exhausting three-step process first.
It's that classic translation bottleneck, isn't it? That sequence that just eats up all your mental energy.
Exactly.
First, you think of the perfect sentence in your own language. Then step two, your brain is scrambling, trying to be a translator.
Right.
And only then, after all that work, does the English word finally come out of your mouth.
Yeah. And the source material we looked at makes it so clear. That whole process is just very slow.
It's hard work.
It's incredibly hard work, and it makes your brain just tired. It makes speaking feel like a huge chore.
And that inefficiency, that's really why we're here today. Our mission is pretty direct. We want to pull out the core, actionable steps, and I mean the easy ones, the fun ones, to get you to skip that translation stage entirely.
So the goal is to think directly in English.
Exactly, to make speaking fast, natural, and just sustainable, so you don't burn out.
So for this deep dive, we've synthesized insights from a really practical guide. It's designed for learners who want to make that leap, from being a translator in their own head to being a thinker in English.
And we've got 3 core tips to unpack today.
Okay, let's start with the first one. Let's dive right in.
Let's do it. Tip 1. It's all about the power of using small, simple sentences.
Okay, so let's unpack this a little. When we say bypass translation, the strategy is basically don't try to translate big, complicated ideas.
No, not at all.
You start small, like really small. Simple, short sentences that just describe what's right in front of you.
It's a fundamental retraining of your brain. Think of it like this. Your native language is like a big central highway.
Okay.
Right now, every thought has to go through that main hub before it can get to the English exit. What we're trying to do here is build a new direct access road.
So if I see something, say a cup, the goal is to connect the English word cup directly to what I'm seeing.
Precisely. You skip the hub.
You skip your native language step entirely.
You're connecting the English words directly to what you see and what you feel. You're building a brand new neural pathway.
I see.
And the source gives a great example. Instead of just thinking the single word cup, which, only does half the job,
Right.
you force yourself to make a simple, complete sentence.
So it's not just the noun. Instead of just cup, I should be thinking, this is my cup. Or maybe my cup is white.
Yes, or I want my cup. You're building the structure at the same time as the vocabulary. It's so efficient.
And the real power of this, I guess, is that you can do it all the time.
That's the key. It's about this continuous kind of low-effort narration you do all day long.
Like from the moment you wake up.
From the very moment you wake up, you don't need fancy words. You just narrate what's happening. I'm awake now. I feel sleepy.
I want breakfast.
My feet are cold. It's that simple.
Okay, but I can already hear people thinking, isn't that just
Yeah.
exhausting? Having to narrate everything all day, it sounds like more work.
That's a really important question. And yes, if you were trying to translate, a complex philosophical idea, it would be exhausting.
Sure.
But you're not. You're limiting yourself to simple, concrete, real things. The cognitive load is super low. You're not translating. You're just associating.
So if I'm on the bus, I just think, I'm walking, I see a woman.
She is reading a book. The car is fast. It's just describing your immediate reality.
So the rule is to keep the language tied to things you can literally see or feel in that moment.
Exactly. It keeps the processing simple and forces that direct link in your brain.
This is a form of practice that you can do anywhere, anytime. You don't need a book. You don't need a class.
You just need your own awareness. It trains your brain to make English the default for what's happening right now, and it basically starves that old translation habit.
That makes so much sense. So tip 1 is continuous, simple narration. That handles the output. But we need the building blocks, right?
Yep.
We need to feed the English part of our brain.
We do.
So let's pivot to tip 2, strategic input. First of all, what does input even mean here?
Input is it's English coming into your brain, that's all.
Okay.
So hearing it with your ears, seeing it with your eyes, listening, reading, watching videos, that's all input. It's the food that the language part of your brain needs to grow.
But why is that so important for learning to think directly in English? It feels a bit passive?
Because your brain doesn't really learn grammar from a textbook. I mean, not naturally. It learns what the source calls patterns.
Patterns.
Yeah, patterns. When you hear a phrase like, I am going to the shop 100 times, your brain just adjusts. It absorbs that structure. It learns the rhythm, the flow, what the source calls the music of English.
So the input is what gives your brain the correct sentence structures to use when it's trying to do tip 1.
Exactly. If you only do the narration from tip 1 without good input, your sentences might start to sound wrong or grammatically broken.
And then you'd have to go back to translating.
You'd fall back on what you know. Listening gives your brain the food it needs to create those patterns naturally, so you don't have to stop and think about a grammar rule. It just feels right.
Okay, so that brings up the big question of content. If I'm trying to learn patterns, watching a really fast-paced movie with tons of slang, that seems like a bad idea.
A very bad idea at first.
So how do we choose our content? How do we curate it?
The content has to be chosen carefully. But the most important rule is it has to be enjoyable.
A happy brain learns faster.
A happy brain learns faster and better. If you're forcing yourself to listen to something boring, your brain just checks out. The patterns don't stick.
But why are fast movies so bad in the early stages? Is it just the speed?
It's more than just the speed. They use so much idiomatic language, cultural jokes, people talking over each other. A beginner just doesn't have the context for all those layers of meaning. Your brain tries to translate, it fails, and it just gives up.
You want content where the meaning is obvious.
Exactly.
Self-evident.
So what are some good examples? What kind of input should we be looking for?
Well, simple, slow-speaking podcasts are great, but honestly, music is an incredible tool here.
Music.
Specifically, simple English songs, pop songs, classic love songs. They're perfect.
Why are they so effective?
It's the repetition.
Yeah.
They use very simple, direct phrases like, I love you, or you're beautiful, and they repeat them over and over and over again.
So it drills the pattern and the vocabulary into your memory.
Without any effort.
Yeah.
And because it's fun, it doesn't feel like studying. Your motivation stays high.
Low effort, high enjoyment, massive retention.
Okay, that makes sense. What about video? If movies are out, what's in?
This is my favorite part.
Ah,
The strategy is to watch simple videos about your hobbies.
your hobbies.
Yes, this is where the visual connection becomes so powerful, and it links directly back to tip 1.
Okay, explain that connection.
So let's say you like to cook. You watch a simple recipe video.
Right.
When the chef says, I take the tomato, you see them take the tomato. When they say, and I slice it finely, you see them slicing it.
Ah, the visual link completely bypasses the need for translation.
Absolutely. If you're watching sports and the commentator says he kicks the ball, you see the kick. The word and the picture connect instantly in your brain.
You already understand what's happening because it's your hobby. The language just adds the label.
Exactly. It's the fastest way to build that direct association we talked about.
So the core of tip 2 is enjoyment and visual reinforcement. Feed your brain things you love that show you what the words mean.
Because if it feels like a chore, you'll quit. It's that simple. Sustained motivation is everything. If you look forward to watching a quick video about your hobby, you'll do it every day.
Okay, so we have the internal habit from tip 1, the small sentences.
Right.
And now we have the fuel, the strategic input from tip 2. Let's get into the final part, the practice mindset. This is where we talk about timelines, consistency, and the fear of getting it wrong.
This is so critical because without the right mindset, all the enthusiasm from the first 2 tips can just fizzle out.
First, expectations.
Mm-hmm.
How fast does this happen?
It's not fast. Language learning is not a race. You have to see it as a long-term project. You'll see real results in, a few weeks or a few months, not a few days.
This is the plant analogy from the source, right?
Exactly. It's like growing a plant. You don't sit there and watch it get taller every minute.
No.
You water it, you give it sun, you're consistent, and then one day you look at it and you realize, wow, it's grown so much. Your progress is like that. It's often invisible day to day, but it's huge over time.
And what about the time commitment? Do I need to set aside an hour every night?
No, absolutely not. The source is very clear on this. Consistency is way more important than duration.
10 or 15 minutes every day is better than 3 hours on a Sunday.
Far better. Your brain needs that daily exposure to make the pattern stick. It's all about those small daily gains.
Which brings us to tip 3, active output. And facing that big, scary thing for learners, speaking and making mistakes.
Right. So output is actively creating English. And at first, you can just do this alone.
So speaking out loud to yourself.
Yes. Take that narration practice from tip 1 and just say it out loud. Describe your room, talk about what you're making for dinner, do it when you're alone so there's zero social pressure.
But that fear of making a mistake is paralyzing. What happens when I say something like, I happy instead of I am happy? It just feels like a failure.
We have to completely change how we think about mistakes.
Okay.
Mistakes are normal. They aren't a sign that you're failing. They're a sign that you are trying. And even more, they are feedback for your brain.
Feedback.
Yes. Your brain needs to know where the pattern is broken so it can fix it. A mistake is just a signal.
So the mistake is actually a necessary part of the learning process.
It's essential. And the way to handle it is really simple. Quick self-correction.
How does that work?
If you say, I happy, and you notice it, you don't stop and get frustrated. You just immediately out loud correct it. Oh, I am happy. And then you just keep talking.
So by correcting it right away, you're reinforcing the right pattern that you learned from your input.
That's it, exactly. You're showing your brain the right way right in that moment. No shame, no stopping, just correct and move on.
Be brave and don't expect to be perfect.
Yes. It's okay to be a beginner. Every single time you self-correct, you're getting one step closer to making that correction automatic the next time.
That feels like such a low-stakes way to practice. I'm not waiting for a teacher to correct me. I'm doing it myself, in real time.
It creates this perfect loop. Tip 1 is the habit, tip 2 is the fuel, and tip 3 is the low-risk practice and the feedback. They all work together to build that direct road and bypass translation for good.
That is a phenomenal blueprint. Let's do a quick final recap just to lock it in for everyone listening.
Okay, tip 1. Start small. Think in simple sentences all day long. Connect English directly to the world around you to build that new neural pathway.
Tip 2. Feed your brain with strategic, enjoyable input. Simple music and videos about your hobbies that give you that powerful visual link. Remember, a happy brain learns better.
And finally, tip 3. Practice by speaking to yourself out loud. Be consistent. 10 or 15 minutes a day is perfect. And embrace your mistakes. See them as feedback, self-correct quickly, and keep going.
And through all of this, the core lesson is, choose things you genuinely love. If it's boring, you'll stop. It's that simple. Make choices that make you want to show up again tomorrow.
If you can approach it with a sense of fun and curiosity instead of like, it's a chore, you're already most of the way there.
We've taken the exhaustion out of translation and giving you the tools for fast, natural speaking. So we want to leave you with one last thought, and it builds right on that first tip. The goal isn't just to be able to speak. It's to get to a point where using the language is actually a source of daily pleasure. So what small, simple thing will you narrate in English the very next time you stand up? Proving that your journey to thinking directly in a new language has already begun. Start now. Start small. Your brain is ready.